Can you see me?
Hi. Yeah.
Hello.
Oh my goodness. Okay, guys. Hi. Welcome for our Thursday chit chat. Tonight we're not doing an exquisitely long educational one. It's going to be general homestead conversations about birds, food, and homestead related activity. I'm just waiting for this to queue up to make sure we're working.
Does it look okay? Yeah, it's kicking on now.
Okay, cool. Cool. So if you're in here, welcome. My name is Christopher.
I'm Angela
We happen to have a small homestead down here in southern Lancaster County
in Pennsylvania.
in Pennsylvania, or as they call it, Pennsyltucky. Have you ever heard that?
I have, but not from residents.
They call us Pennsylvanians Pennsyltuckies, and this is us, Dinosaur Omelette people. Hi, Verna. Hey, Verna, I want to show you something. You have to speak up a bit. Sounds like he was mumbling. Can you hear me? Use this crappy microphone.
Oh.
Oops. There. I took off my. Hopefully, you can hear me better.
Is this connector here snug?
Yeah, that's fine. I have a mic on there. I think it's just a bad mic. You know, let me just take the mic. There we go. I removed the mic. I can probably hear me better. It's just.
How do we sound now?
Pennsyltucky. She hasn't heard Pennsyltucky in a while. Hi, Katie. Thanks for stopping in. Verna said my microphone was not the best. That's what I kind of figured. Oh, her speaker was down too far. Why you little? Hey, Verna, I wanted to show you something. Although I sent her a video.
Mm-hmm.
It's our pawpaws. These are Angela's last couple of pawpaws. There's probably more now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen at home, if you've never had these delicious things, what do they taste like? Mango.
It's like it's not as strong sweetness as a mango, but you think like a mango type fruit.
You know, this smells like wild Concord grapes. You know the wild grapes?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it reminds me
Yeah,
of.
you can smell. So we were biking and we could actually smell them before we saw them.
Anyway, I wanted to show Verna these because, what do you call it? We were talking about them. She was talking about them, and it's like pawpaw season.
Mm-hmm.
Careful, the animals may have gleaned in the tree. Well, I'm putting a lot of stuff in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But they're good, and a lot of them were up and ready for picking. And I didn't climb, but I pulled the tree down and we got a bunch.
The branch.
And we were at the end of the trail, so I was dying of thirst and kind of passing out from low sugar. So these pawpaws were good.
Mm-hmm.
These are kind of small. We went to the animal fair yesterday, and they had pawpaws was one of the competitions.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
they were
kids,
nice and large.
the kids picked the pawpaws. Pawpaw season, yep. Banana mango. Yeah, that's a pretty accurate one.
Yeah.
Light banana, strong mango, but not real sweet. But still, it's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And the texture's good. Like the texture, the meat is smooth.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's mango season and chestnut season. So we'll pick this up.
Yeah.
But like you were saying in your live video, Verna, which I like about the pawpaws, is that they're ancestral. They were never selectively bred.
Oh, right.
This is how they've been forever. Mm-hmm. And they taste like a very specifically bred fruit because they're so sweet.
Yeah.
I said to Angela, I said, you know, if they selectively bred these things, these pawpaw trees, the seeds would be smaller and the fruit would be bigger. Mm-hmm. Like most of the other fruits.
It has a nice color, though, the meat. It's a nice yellow color on the inside.
Yeah. Well, that's the carotenoids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was very good. Anyway, that was our biking adventure. I just wanted to show you because we were talking about it. Mm-hmm. I would have sent you some, but you're right. They get squishy pretty quick.
Yeah.
They're not good for shipping. You got to basically overnight them. You know, it's like if you put a banana. It's like it's worse than a banana. Bananas stay fresh a while. Largest North American fruit by nature. She's very bright. She always has like really good, interesting information. Maybe we should close that window. We have the window open and the helicopter's going by. Anyway, guys, tonight I just want to talk about, we do a break.
The other one's in.
We got helicopters, they're arresting me. I wouldn't worry about it. By the time we get over there, it's done. Helicopter going by. It's not a real studio. But, yeah, so if you guys are new, if anybody's new here, we usually do deep class, like a class structure. And we'll do a live video, but when we do our lives, it's teaching. Tonight is going to be more laid back, and we'll go over general stuff about the jumbo Coturnix quail. Save those seeds and plant a few near to you. Oh, I am. I'm going to try to sprout them first. So you can sprout.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk about the quail. For anybody who has quail questions, Katie, if you have any quail questions, I don't know if you're raising them, how well they're doing for you, if you have any problems, if you're trying to hatch or anything like that. We'll talk about chickens, just general stuff. And, maybe I'll think of some problems that need to be solved.
Mm-hmm.
I love problems that need to be solved. Why do I love problems? Because that's what I deal with. I'm a problem
Part of having Homestead.
dealer with her. So, cool. All right. Down in the, before anything, ladies and gentlemen, this is not medical advice nor veterinary advice. We certainly suggest you seek a veterinary professional for your animal's needs. The internet can be a strange place, so yeah, definitely get the professional information that you require, and don't rely on weird people on the internet. They're not always accurate, but do see a vet. So don't take this as medical advice. Down in the description, I always like to tell you guys there's fun little stuffs. Send them out. Like if you know somebody too, you can just copy paste the address to these things, like this quail question answer pamphlet. I actually updated it so it looks like this. This quail Q&A. I always talk about this thing because of all the junk I've written a whole bunch of educational material, like all the stuff down there I made or Angela helped make, and we made together, like I do the illustrations and stuff. So it's not like stuff we copied off of the internet. But out of all the junk I've made so far, this is the most practically useful. I'm not going to say my favorite, there's some other things I like. But this is the most practically useful because people are kind of like not the most enthusiastic about doing stuff. It takes away the learning curve, and you can learn how to raise quail with basically zero information.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say? It answers a lot of those questions. But they're pretty easy questions. We'll go over some of these tonight. Anything else you'd like to add? Because I talk a lot.
No, I mean, we encourage people to learn new skills, to learn about foods, and however possible, you can, for you and your family to be involved in producing any kind of foods, in your property, at your home, in pots, or even animals, so that you can contribute to your health and well-being and the quality of your life. It is rewarding to grow and raise animals and plants, and then also to know what you're feeding and how you're nourishing those things.
Yeah, I just sent somebody, speaking of health and wellness. So I'm a big Desiree. Hi. I'm going to say hi to Desiree. Maybe I don't know Desiree. Hi Desiree, I'm Christopher.
I'm Angela.
So we're talking about health and wellness. And yeah, doing your own food definitely promotes it. Not because all of a sudden you have a healthy supply of food, although that does help, but because you're starting to learn about food and like what's actually coming out of the ground, and then how it interacts with your body, even cellularly, and you're engaged in an activity, which now this becomes mental stimulation, this becomes psychologically comforting, and these are critically important parts of our overall health. Here in the United States, I was talking to people about this. Where were I yapping about this? People are preoccupied with aesthetics, so like their appearance. When they're talking about diet, what they mean is they want to lose weight to look better. Mm-hmm. In many instances. So we get older, we have health problems, and we're doing it for health.
So they're not thinking of it like a lifestyle and taking care of your body, taking care of yourself. People can often, think about feeding their animal, the pets, dogs and cats, like they seem to grasp that. It seems easier, quicker, like, oh, I need to feed them well, if I want them to, not have illnesses and stuff, take care of their bodies, and they feed them really, good quality foods, but then it seems more difficult for us, because I guess we have the sweet tooths and like the different temptations and stuff, and it takes work.
Well,
But our bodies are the same. Like, we have to learn how to take care of ourselves as well.
yes, and I was going to talk about this whole systems issue. This isn't quail, but talking about food. Food is but only one component of our full well-being and health. This is not like my opinion. This is well documented. We know this, like total wellness and total well-care. Yes, of course, your nutrition and diet are important. Of course, your activity level, your psychology, like your mood, stress reduction, your relationships with other humans, that's very important. Remember COVID, everybody was locked away and they started getting depressed. Their health failed.
Yeah.
Outdoor time, getting into the sunlight, not just for the vitamin D synthesis on the skin, which is good, but the light from the sun increases your mood, your energy, your body's starting to wake up. Your body has a physiological response because we're evolved to that circadian clock, which is dictated by the sun. And so we go out in the sun, it's like somebody doing this, pulling the crank, right? Sleeping well. And these are all problems people always talk about. They don't sleep well, get outside. Well, they're really, really important. So I'm not telling people this is simple to implement, but
it's like a lifestyle, and it's a process of learning, rather than a fad or like something to like a diet or something that's just temporary to accomplish something that you want to last.
It's a behavioral thing. Yeah. But I'm not like, I wouldn't get nuts about it. I'm not like these people who are, they're obsessed, like it's an obsession. No, you get to a point, like I also do the prepping thing, but I don't call myself a prepper. You get to a point where you practice something and you don't label yourself as that thing. It just becomes who you are, like if you have a homestead. You don't call yourself a homesteader. It sounds stupid. I'm like, oh yeah, I do all these things. You are a homesteader, but you don't call yourself that. It's just who you are. It's part of your being. Anywho, I don't know why I don't want to ramble too much about that. So it's not just the food, although the food's very important. It's also there's other factors. Stress, sleep, sun.
Overall, like, we encourage people to better the quality of life, like while you're alive, obviously. So doing these skills, learning these things, all that, helps your quality of life, in the moment, and it's an investment as well.
Thank you, Desiree. She has a really good question, and Angela can answer this because she's very good at this. She's been hatching. We've been hatching for a long time, longer than we've been here. But and we put a ton of teaching into this. We know a lot about this. So her question is, got chicken chicks pipping and zipping right now. She must be young. She said RN. That's young people.
Oh.
Talk, right?
Good for you for getting it.
Yeah. Got chicken chicks pipping right now and zipping. Any tips? I've only hatched some quail before.
Well,
chicken chicks.
Chickens, they seem to usually hatch out pretty smoothly. Just like with quail and any other poultry, you just want to make sure that your humidity levels are around like 60 to 70%. You don't want it to go like way too high. Once they start unzipping, some of them start hatching, it is going to bump that humidity up a little bit because there's a whole bunch of moisture inside of that egg and they're little wet things. But yeah, from just like, if nobody's opened up yet, just make sure that humidity isn't like going too high. If it's like going up into the like 80, then you might risk some of them not being able to hatch, because the little guys will start absorbing that excess moisture that's in the air, and it'll make their bodies a little too big to be able to move in that egg, so then they'll get stuck. But yeah, that's the main thing, just the temperature and humidity.
What are some of the problems? So how long is it when they start opening the egg? When should I expect to see them out of the egg?
And so it can take, some of them are fast, some of them take some hours. Don't rush to take them out of the incubator if you have quite a few hatching. That way you don't mess with the temperature and humidity too much. I personally like to wait 24 hours before opening my incubator and taking them out. And really, I wait until, there's a good bit out of their shells. If you have a few that hatch a little earlier and they're dry already, then go ahead and take them out. Don't freak out or get too stressed though about opening it and the levels of the humidity and temperature dropping. So just be kind of quick, depending on the type of incubator that you have. I have a cabinet one, so I have a big door, and then I have all these baskets I take out. So sometimes if I know my humidity is dropping way too much than I want, and my outer room temperature is really dry, the humidity is really dry, I'll mist the inside real quick with a mister, and then close the door.
So her humidity is at 70%.
That's good. Yep, 70% is good. So once they start opening up, you'll see it go up. The humidity will go back up or go higher, but it'll balance out again as they start to dry. But they can technically, once they hatch, it can technically take 3 days before they need water and food. I wouldn't recommend.
Egg supplies the nutrients.
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend waiting 3 days because then they're going to be really hungry and you don't want them to be starving.
Can you explain the eggs and the nutrients that they eat?
Do you want to?
No, you're the hatcher. You're talking.
Well,
I know. I'm always talking.
They're attached to that yolk and they're absorbing their nutrients, what they need as they're finishing up. Sometimes people will see a chick hatch and it might be, sometimes people help them and they kind of end up helping them a little too early, and they'll see the little bit of a blob of the yolk still there, like they haven't finished absorbing it yet, and their abdomen will look too big because they're still absorbing. But that's just, I was just illustrating the fact that they're absorbing their their foods, everything that they need from that yolk. And once they hatch out, they'll have absorbed it all, but they're good for 3 days. But anyway, 24 hours, then put them in the brooder.
Verna said I usually would let them 24 to 48 hours, just like you do with quail.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, Desiree, I don't know if you're only on Facebook, but if you stalk us over there, I just put a really cool diagram of the egg, of a chicken egg, which has, I did the
interior
of an egg, an unfertilized egg, and then I did a label of the embryonic egg with the embryo.
Yeah, look, it's really interesting.
Why is, for some reason, this stupid thing holds my, what do you call it? Replies people right. I will show this reply. I don't know what's this. Right. My first chick picked a day and a half early. Verna invited me here. Oh, thanks, Verna.
Oh, cool. Well, welcome.
Welcome here.
Yeah, you can leave the chick in there. Just maximum 3 days. Don't go over 3 days. You should have a couple extra chicks with the early chick that hatched coming soon. Don't take them out until they're dry.
Yeah.
So let them air dry in there.
Is there a problem with overcrowding a incubator or hatcher? I'm just thinking of problems off the top of my head. Because I'd be jamming everybody in there.
Some people I have seen put a lot of eggs in a basket, and the hatcheries, the ones they have a lot of them hatching eggs in them, they'll have them really crowded. And I don't know. I mean, sometimes some chicks can get a little snagged on a shell or a piece of the membrane while it's still wet, and then it dries kind of quickly, and then sometimes it'll wrap around a leg, that sort of thing, and it's attached to the shell. So I'm a fan of decluttering, so when I do take them out, the ones that are ready to come out, I quickly grab the empty shells from the space and remove them. That allows me to see who's left, and also it just gives them more space. But
fantastic. Now, when they get wrapped up in membrane, is that what they call shrink wrap?
No. So that's my example was sometimes
So shrink wrapping is not a good feature.
Yeah, it's that membrane. They're still in the egg. They're still in the egg. They are in the process of unzipping the outer part, and when the incubator is opened and the humidity drops, all of a sudden it can make that wet membrane like go up against them, and then they essentially can't move. And then because their egg is now open because they're unzipping, when the humidity levels go back to normal, the membrane will start drying, and it's like glued to them. So yeah, those may need if that ever happens, they may need some assistance, but that doesn't mean that they weren't able to get out necessarily on their own had they not been shrink.
Here's something. It's a question I have. Angela does all the hatching. I don't do the hatching. I could hatch, but she's very good at hatching. So this is a question I would have too. I have 9 eggs in there, little giant incubator, and 4 quail eggs. So she's doing quail and chicken eggs.
Okay.
Just a time difference.
Yeah, you just have to.
Quails are quicker.
Yeah, I mean, just know when you put them in. That's what it comes down to. Is know when, because you can time it so that you put the quail eggs in and that they end up hatching all at the same time, as long as you were being intentional. If they're going to be hatching at a different time, a couple days before or after, just obviously keep the incubator tended to so that they can complete their process.
Well, what about breech chicks? Is that the same? I can't read. She said, what about breached chicks? Are they the same as quail?
Breached?
I guess cracking out the egg. Please clarify.
Yeah, clarify on breached.
You don't want to seem too stupid.
Well, I just want to make sure I understand.
If breached is a common.
Well, if it's
breached usually means, I don't know, probably means cracking through the egg. But yeah, we're real happy to address that. Just what do you mean by breached? Sorry. Coming out legs first. I see.
No,
Yes.
yeah. That doesn't happen too often.
So when they're cracking the egg, the objective is they're getting into the air cell for breathing.
Yeah. So if you can see the development, if you candle the egg before you put them to lockdown permanent, before they start hatching, and you can see that the air cell is not in the proper position, like the air cell is not at the wide part of the egg, maybe it's at the pointy part, or maybe it's on the side, then it really reduces the success rate for the chick to hatch, because like Christopher was saying, they are positioned with their head right at that air cell, and they poke through the air cell within the egg so that they can now start breathing, and then they'll start pecking on the inside of that shell, and as they're pecking with that little tiny tooth, they're going to be breaking the little blood vessels that are inside of that membrane, and in doing that, it's going to start clotting the membrane, the blood vessels, so they don't end up bleeding out, because they're all connected to this stuff. And then they'll start pecking, breaking through, and they have to have their head in that air cell in order to breathe and continue to have time to get out. The legs coming out first,
How would they do that?
they can't. They have to peck. So maybe
coming out on the narrow side instead of the fat end, Rona says.
Yeah, so as long as their head is
getting air
at the air cell, if the air cell is at the pointy end and their head is there too.
Yeah, so the chick and the egg, which is so cool. They hatch because of carbon dioxide buildup in the egg. So on that, 21st day for chickens?
Well, when they hatch, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so on that 21st day, 20 to 21, the carbon dioxide builds up in their brain. They know physiologically, it tells them, yo, get out of this
because
egg.
that space, that air cell is getting bigger, and it's like, the space that they're in, because they're not breached, they haven't poked a hole yet, is getting smaller, so that carbon
Well, they do
dioxide
gas exchange, so they breathe through the shell.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting oxygen from the shell, from the pores, from the caliantoic membrane.
Mm-hmm.
The membrane with all those little, what do you call it? Veins.
Mm-hmm.
The little veins all over the membrane. They're pulling in air and exchanging air for the metabolic processes that growing. They need oxygen. And there's going to be waste and some CO2. And the CO2, there's some CO2 that stays trapped in the egg as well. up in that lets the chick know when they're hatching. It's really, really interesting, but that's how they get cued into getting out of the egg. It's the amount of gas, amount of carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
And then there's air. There's still oxygen up in that cell for them to breathe. So they got to get the air. If they're not getting the air, that's not good. So if they're breaking from the skinny end,
yeah, I mean, they have to have the air
out.
cell. So if they have the air cell and are able to, unzip, then yeah, they can get out. But they would still have their, their head come out first because they're poking a hole for the, the top part of their heads.
Cool, yeah. And the shell, do you notice they are more brittle at hatch? Can you tell? You not really pay attention.
So they seem more brittle after the chick is out and the membrane inside has dried.
So the chick uses about 30% of the shell for its bones. It dissolves the calcium out of the shell for its bones. About 30% of it's gone. It makes it a little weaker for it to crack through. Now, duck eggs, those are like...
They're very thick.
Very thick, yeah. They're stronger
so,
llamas.
yeah, and their tooth is bigger.
Cool. So, chicken chicks. This is good stuff. What kind of chickens are you hatching, by the way?
Yeah.
That should be interesting. What do we hatch? Have we hatched chickens recently? This is Quail. You hatch your puppies, but I don't know, like, besides the puppies.
You mean silkies?
Silky
we call them
chickens.
puppies. Yeah, I mean,
When's
I've
the last
hatched.
times we hatched? Was
I've
the black...
hatched the black Australorps.
Yeah, it's been a while since
and
we
I've
hatched
showed
heritage food birds.
the Rhode Island Reds as well in the past.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that they did that. Yes, indeed. Yeah. It's neat. Like, the more you learn, the more interesting this stuff is. And I don't know how old you happen to be, if you have kids or anything, but I really like to present the information in a lot of these videos, in particular in this print stuff, to make it kid-friendly, but also accessible to adults, like to learn this stuff. And the thing is, the more you learn, the more you enjoy it, and it becomes self-reinforcing. It's like, oh, I'm going to do more of that. It's really cool. It becomes your thing. You're doing something, and then people ask you. Oh, it's my knife pot. So cool. So chickens. Speaking of chickens, so what are we raising right now? Red comets?
We have golden comets.
Golden comets. They look like Rhode Island Reds.
They're a little more...
Cone's a little different.
Well, these are also hatchery stock.
Yeah.
We had black Australorps, and they had just aged out. And in the heritage breeds, they do lay longer, but they're just for eggs.
Katie, like I said, Katie is young. She's like a sponge when you can learn all she can. Oh, awesome. You know, Katie, I'm on the book, and you're always welcome to send a message or get a call if you have questions. I'm pretty open because we're not slammed by millions of people. BYM, oh God. It's young people talk. BYM, include Americana. I am Samones, Marans. I can't remember the rest of what they could be mixed with.
Oh, okay. So it's backyard mix.
Oh. Okay, that makes sense.
I only
know,
know
I get very frightened with
the chicken Facebookers.
You know when they do the letters and they don't write words?
I don't even.
Texting lingo?
I don't know, because
Like,
I don't do it. I refuse to.
Backyard mix. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, LOL.
Yeah, that's the only one
How
I'll do.
dare you send me letters? At least try that.
Well, I'll write him LOL for laughing out loud, and he'll go lol, and he'll read it as lol, and then he'll make it as though I'm not actually laughing, and I'm like, I only write LOL when I'm actually laughing out loud.
If you're telling me you're laughing out loud, I want to legitimately know that it was such a profound moment of humor. You're like, ah!
Which is why I said LOL.
LOL.
Exclamation point.
Right.
Maybe emoji.
Backyard mix. Okay, moving on. Yeah, we're raising golden comets for eggs. They're doing a good job. They're laying their eggs.
Yeah, we had our, for us, where we are located, the light is now getting a little less, and we have a light inside of the coop, and I had forgotten, I put the hours down from back when I introduced them to the coop when they were young. So we're like, oh, they're laying eggs, this is exciting, and then all of a sudden the egg counts are going way down. I'm like, what is going on? I have, they're eating plenty, and I had to up my light.
Yeah, guys, make sure you put your lights in if you want eggs and to reduce the molt.
Yeah.
Molting season's coming up. She said there's a backyard next and there's a chance I could get a full Ion Simone.
Oh, yeah, those are the black
That's
ones.
that Rolls Royce of chickens. That's the
Like
chicken.
all black inside the mouth.
All the girls at the party stop and they get jealous and they give you that sneery look. Oh, look at the chicken she
They're
brought.
pretty popular.
Yeah, those are very beautiful animals too. Yeah, so the light change is happening. Something I discussed, which is something you may not be aware of, in a chicken education video about vision. So the birds have very exquisite vision. They have much more detailed vision than the human. They have 4 color receptor cones in their eyes. Red, yellow, blue, is that right? Red, green, what are the primaries are. Plus they see in UV, ultraviolet, for food and noticing blood and seeing their mates. But something too that's very important. They have a high flicker rate. So the human flicker rate, like we're using LED lights and they're flickering. They're constantly flickering. Like 1 million pulses a second. They're actually probably like 100 or so pulses a second. But it looks like a continual light to us. Same with your LED lights if you have them in the house. Because your flicker lights or flicker rate in the human eye is about 60, and in a chicken it's a lot higher. It's probably like 120.
And when you when you use your phone to video,
yeah, you'll see the flicker.
You'll see the flicker.
Because video is what? It's a whole bunch of photographs, and some of those photographs are going to be inconsistent with the flicker of the light, so you're going to see that dimming. The whole point of this is their eyes perceive a higher flicker rate, which means if you're putting LEDs into a coop, you may want to look into getting a no flicker light. It still flickers actually, but it flickers so high they can't perceive it. It's more like 1,000 per second as opposed to the 120. And the reason is, it's just like if you have a strobe light. They're going to get the club on it.
It could cause some stress.
So they'd be a little stressed, and it may affect their laying. So you may want to look into the appropriate type of lighting for your birds. And you can find that just online with flicker-free lights. Or you can use the old school incandescent type lights, like the Christmas lights. I can't stand those LED Christmas lights.
Oh, yeah.
What's up with vape shops? It's like they're the king of LED lights. You know those things, those vapor shops? You drive by, like have 5,000 of them? Oh my God, I think it's a union. They have to do that. I mean, it's insane. I see that like glow 3 miles away. I'm like, I bet you there's a vape shop right over that hill. Anyway, flicker rate is something to be aware of in your chickens. Really cool stuff. We have, we did that eye video, what, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago? It's about the structure of avian vision. I'm telling you, Desiree, you know, if you want to learn this stuff, we do these cool videos. They're not short form, but I like to teach and give the information. It's like not overwhelm you with information, but give you enough to where like, oh, okay, cool, I learned something new. Coolio. All right, what else are we doing with chickens this year? So it's getting into molting season. So what are we doing with feed? They eat more in the cold, obviously.
Yeah, when it's colder.
It's going to be getting colder soon.
When they're working a little harder to stay warm, to regulate their body temperature.
And yeah, there's going to be, at least in our latitude, we have pretty dramatic temperature shifts coming this time of year. Or I mean, it gets down to like freezing almost, and then it'll be 90 degrees in the day. Where we have really cold nights, and then the sun comes out, and then it gets to be 80, 85.
Yeah.
So they have pretty drastic temperature changes, but they adjust to it. Common question we always hear, and there's so much Facebook debate, is, do I put a heater in my chicken coop?
Because people humanize the animals and forget that animals in general are fully equipped to live in the environment that they were, raised for. And humans, we have to cover ourselves or adjust how we're covered to be in different temperatures. But no, they do not need heaters.
Why is that?
If the winter is super cold, I do encourage people to reinforce their coop by perhaps making sure it's not drafty with high cold winds. So you can just put, maybe some plastic or something up. You can add extra bedding around just for more insulation. But the chickens, they have their feathers, just like when we wear a coat and you're out in the cold, if you touch the outside of your coat, it feels cold, like the outside, like the temperature. If you stick your hand in between your skin and the coat, you can feel warmth, and your body is working to pump heat into that space, and you can feel it. That's why people instinctively, when they like get a little kitten and it's cold, they stuff it in their coat. But anyway, it's the same thing with the feathers. The feathers, they are right above the skin. There's a pocket, you know, between their skin and the underside of their feathers, and that heat is in that space, keeping them warm. They'll
And
fluff their feathers out.
yeah, these things are very exquisitely designed. That's why I say the more you learn about it, it's really, really fascinating. The feathers are very, very well designed, and we can't produce something to capture heat like feathers do.
Yeah.
We try to, but the feathers are really exquisitely designed specifically for that purpose, trap that air, for flight, etc. They're designed in different designs. They're very good at trapping the heat and keeping warm. It's the same like when we go diving in a wetsuit. I don't know how many of us go diving in a wetsuit, but what we're doing, you have cold water goes against your body, and then your body heats that cold water to make it body temperature-ish, and then that outer suit, okay, it provides a barrier, so you have that warmer water against you. It's the same with the air. The chickens, it's still cold out there, but I mean, it's not cold here because they're heating it up with their body heat, and their temperature is pretty high. It's about 104 or so. They have high metabolisms.
It is important to provide windbreak areas for their
for
outside area to run, because you know, a harsh breeze will ruffle their feathers, and then it'll break their insulation barrier for the moment. But also, another reason why you don't want to have heat inside of the coop is because then they're going to go from this like warmer temperature to then out to the very cold. It's just like it's very harsh. And birds in general are susceptible to respiratory illness. And that's a great way to, weaken their immune system and cause some stress that would potentially make them susceptible to
And
illness.
heat up that debris in there, like their droppings and chicken urine. It's going to heat that up. So Desiree said, frostbite from humidity in the heater. Frostbite from humidity from the heater is what I heard. Oh yeah, it's going to make it humid in there.
Yeah,
And when they get outside with the wind. Oh, I got to tell the whole story about wind chill.
But real quick with what you just mentioned, that's why it is important, especially with chickens. Quail, they need more ventilation than I would say chickens do, because they have that high metabolism. But anyway, the chickens, it's very important to make sure that the coop isn't drafty, that it's properly ventilated, because that draftiness is going to cause issues with moisture being captured or just not moving out properly. Sometimes people don't have enough ventilation at all in the coop, so then it will get
traps.
So
Yeah, the ventilation is important. Like, it's not a big deal. People, I think, sometimes overthink it. The ventilation I have in our chicken coop is just a hole or a strip cut about this big. What is that, like 5 inches, 4 inches, running the length of the
at
coop
the top.
with hardware cloth. So there's air exchange coming in and out of there, and they've never. Low Family Adventures. Yes, Low Family Adventures. I'm still alive. Thank you for coming in, buddy. How are you?
You were going to say
I
something.
bet they're a Homestead family. Sounds like a Homestead channel. I want to hear about your adventures. We're adventurous. I do adventures myself. Wouldn't you say I like adventuring? I love doing stuff outside. Yeah, we're doing, this is, well, let me tell you, like we usually do, I like to do like teaching lives where I select a subject, semi-academic. I try to do something on the level of like, I guess high school, like a high school level class, like an introductory high school level class. Nothing too hard, but like cool and practical, useful information. And I'll tell you, man, I like doing that because it's so challenging, because every week I've got to figure out a new topic, and I want to do something I haven't done before. Luckily, biology goes on forever, so you can always find something out. I have questions about mites on quails. How do you treat them?
I
never had mites on
no,
quails.
I haven't. They likely got it from wild birds. I personally like. There's a couple products, but the Electro PSP. There's another.
Is that Earthman?
Yes. That was the thing I was gonna say. That one's nice because you can spray it. You put a little bit in water, so you dilute it. You can spray it directly on their skin, like lifts the feathers and spray them, or you can dunk them. You just want to make sure that the outside temperature, or wherever you have them, that they don't get chilled. So
No,
bring them
mites-
inside if you have to.
If he hasn't had them before, they cause lethargy with reading the blood, yeah?
Yeah. Well, if it's on the bird, then it's lice. Or if it's in the feet, then that's like a scaly mite.
Scaly mite.
If they're mites, then generally they live inside the hutch or the housing area, and they'll live in the dark crevices and such, and then they'll come out at night and feed on the poor birds, and then run away. But the same product you can use, and you just spray the whole. I would spray, whether it's lice or mites, I would still spray the entire interior of your structure.
I want to cover the controversial one.
Go ahead.
So, in the grand world of chicken people, nothing forms a battle greater than saying the words diatomaceous earth. Dun, 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 dun. You say that to people, and immediately they're going to nuclear level chicken battle. I don't know why this is. They're very passionate about their chicken products.
It's because it does work to kill pests, but there's a cost.
Is Electro PSP or permethrin, right?
Yeah,
is it expensive?
It's I don't know if it's exactly the same thing, but I've read that it's very similar
I think
results.
Electro is the
it can be depending on where you can find it, where you buy it, but it really does last a really long time. You just
make sure you don't get a cheap fake imitation.
Yeah, it's a good product, and I bought it once some years ago, and we still have the same one.
Let me get back to my controversy. Pum, pum, pum. Oh, wait a minute. First, I found them on my chicken. I treated them, and then this week I seen them on my quails.
Yeah, it's
Where
parasites. Parasites are opportunistic.
Also, the cage proximity.
Oh.
If the quail and chickens are right on top
But
of each
it could also it could also be the same wild Tweety birds. Maybe are hanging out in both areas.
Yeah, so the thing with biosecurity is it's impossible to be 100%. Unless you like the big facilities, they're still not 100%, but they're extremely strict.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the protocol, walking in, you have to decontaminate and all that stuff, going in and out. So when we're raising at home, there's really no biosecurity. I mean, we institute it and we try to do the best we can, but if you have birds that are flying in and out,
or they're going over top.
I mean, we try to be clean. You don't want to take animal contaminants from one area into your area. Yeah, there's protocol for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to be 100% because these animals are not raised in a very strict environment. They're outside. So they can be introduced to pathogens. So the thing about diatomaceous earth, which I was about to go into, because people are nuts about this, I don't think most people know what this is.
I've seen people starting to learn up. I've seen people actually working to teach.
It's the internet. The information's out there.
Yeah.
It's little teeny microscopic, fossilized plankton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Little teeny tiny things. And this dust, if you look at it under a microscope, and if you have one, this is a good experiment for the kids at home. If you have a microscope, put it under the microscope. You'll see it. It looks like it'll cut. They could have hitched rides off of you, Lo. Furnace talking snack. Yeah, but the DE. They're 30 yards apart. That's plenty of space.
Yeah.
That's plenty of space, so there's not probably cost contamination.
The thing with the lice and mites is just don't feel bad about it. It's just something that happens, especially just the most common culprit, is the wild birds. But anyway. So
the DE, the diatomaceous earth, which are these microscopic plankton skeletons or fossils, little teeny tiny things. They're a microscopic level. They have cutting edges, and that's how it works with mites and bugs. When people treat mites and bugs, it cuts them. It causes microabrasions, allows evaporative. Evaporates the moisture out of those poor little bugs.
You were just saying.
You know what they were doing, and they got hit. And that's all well and good. However, avian
And human.
respiratory systems are very delicate and they're very complex. They have 9 air billows, like air sacs in there, plus a lung, their lungs. And you get this DE going through there. It can cause cuts and introduce some problems. So it would be advisable.
Some
Again,
people,
not veterinary advice. You do this research on your own. It would be advisable not to be using that.
yeah, some people will say, oh, I'll put it down, then I'll put my bedding down, or I'll mix it in with the sand or something, but it's still going to get kicked up. The chickens will scratch at the bedding and the coop, and they're going to, kick it up. The quail, if they're doing a sand bath and it's mixed in, you're going to see the cloud. So it's really bad for the birds, and it's really bad for you to breathe in.
I'll give an example. I did an experiment on myself as a human. I was working in a barn, throwing bale after bale after bale of hay. And at the end of the day, I was like I just smoked 5 packs of smokes back to back. I couldn't breathe for 2 days because I was breathing in that particular matter. And chickens, they can't tell you they're feeling bad. So the DE can irritate their air pathways, which isn't good.
Right.
Especially if they're under stress. We're not going to get into all that. If they're, their introduction of illness can be exacerbated. The green bottle ESP, I believe, is what it's called. I paid 160 big ones for the bottle.
Yeah, when I had gotten it, it was back at the Corona apocalypse time, and I think it was on eBay, and my bottle wasn't very much. I think you can find it at different prices with sellers and such, but yeah, it is though. It is a purchase you're really not going to make probably for years again.
I would look into. This would just be what I would do. I'm looking at $160 bottle.
What's the one that you said?
Pyrethrin, the chemical, the active ingredient.
But there's another product where I think it's just called that. And
look online. Look at the active ingredient. That's what I do with any compound. Is look what is the active ingredient in here, and where's the generic version. Marketing is extremely costly. It costs a lot of money to make a product desirable with a name, so we wind up paying for that.
Yeah.
Great value. The Walmart version,
right?
Although it's really not that good quality.
No.
So, I have the great value of husbands. Oh, it was our anniversary yesterday.
Oh yes.
We've been married 7 years. 7 years. Not bad.
No.
Whenever you tell anybody you're married 7 years, newlyweds. Why don't you try being married 40 years? Oh my God, it's not a contest. I'm just telling you, you're married for 7 freaking years.
Yeah, and this is the second for both of us, so yeah.
Hope your anniversary is fun. We went to the animal fair.
We went to our local community fair, parade
and animal fair, and I petted the pigs.
And the cows.
I had a nice time. I like the animals. I was the only full-grown adult man petting the animals. Like everybody, I'm one of 7 males in the United States without a beard. So, and then I was petting the animals. Everybody there was bearded and tough, and I'm like, it's like, where's my fake beard? I was petting the critters, and we had a good time. It was nice. Thank you for asking. So we talked about DE, and that gets the worst. So if you get on to the social media and you get into these general chicken groups, I don't even know what their use is. As soon as one question's asked, it immediately becomes like 300 angry counters to whatever the thing is. You don't get a clear answer is what I'm saying from the social media. It's kind of useless. So find an expert, talk to an expert, or at least an experienced person.
It's the kind of thing where, you're excited. Us humans, we get excited about learning new things, but a lot of times we might just learn a little bit about something, and then we're excited to help others because us humans also like to help others. But the greater experience and more research will show that certain things are better than others.
Internet people, if you just type the word up, what? Up? I think down!
Yeah.
Start an argument. Verna is going to the Ren Fair in Waynesville, Ohio.
Wow.
In a week from Sunday. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's great. That should be fun.
Do you dress up? Does everybody dress up?
A lot of people
I
do.
think the guys who got dragged didn't want to go, I don't want to go to this. You know.
I think
But yeah,
there's-
most everybody dresses
I can't
up.
remember if you get is there a discount or something if you dress up, or do people just do it because it's for fun?
Fun.
I know it's for
Who
fun.
gives you a discount for anything?
I
Alright.
think maybe you used to at least. Anyway, yeah, it's neat. It's neat. The cultural difference and stuff that they.
I don't think I've ever been to one.
Really?
Yeah.
The one here in Pennsylvania is much better than the one in Maryland, I hear.
I never cared to go to them because I want to see like real. I want to see Black Plague. I want to
That's
see.
not very fun.
Well, I like the history. I don't like the Black
I don't
Plague.
know. There's a lot of neat things.
Not dressing up. Didn't know far enough in advance.
Oh, okay.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, let me move on. What time is this? How long have we been doing this? 50 minutes. Alright, guys. Desiree and Lo really appreciate the questions. It makes it nice. I like having interaction on here. And that was the whole point of this one. This is kind of a, like I said, a laid back, open Q&A.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go over any of the stuff I wanted to go over. I was going to go over all the benefits of
Just
quails and
guidelines.
chickens. Yeah. Anything interesting about quail? So, we raise jumbo Coturnix quail, and they are they're still popular.
Yeah, well, they're the jumbos are I would say the most efficient to have for homesteading or self-sufficiency if you want to produce quick meat and eggs, and also they tend to be more like level-headed in the quail world as far as quail go.
The homesteaders, the quail.
The quail themselves, they're more
Oh,
the
the
jumbos tend to be more calm than the smaller guys. They still are a little like.
Yeah, so the quail, the chickens, all these animals too, guys, they're prolific layers because they're selectively bred to do so. Their ancestral cousins, they don't do that. They lay clutches. They do clutch laying. They'll lay, 6, 10 eggs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever they're gonna end up sitting on.
Try to hatch some, and then this will happen a few times a year. Through the selective breeding over many centuries, we have these delightful animals that produce delicious eggs every day. But that's not how they are ancestrally. There's not predisposition. I don't think any birds lay daily naturally.
Right. Yeah, I imagine the chickens, bred.
But they can lay throughout the year. So, should I really let them lay throughout the winter? It's like, yeah, like down south in the equatorial regions, they're laying all year long.
Mm-hmm.
Desiree, is it the same one for QuailCon? No plan this week. Next week is my birthday. Happy early birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Going to Moab? What? I've always wanted to go out there for mountain biking, man.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's a
Mhm.
mountain biking capital out west. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have a great time out there. Take some videos. Take some
Mhm.
photos. I'm sure you will. Going out to Moab. Yeah, that's one of my big things I'd like to do. We
Yeah.
still go mountain biking. We're going to actually go tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully I don't break anything. So, what was I yapping about? The quail.
The quail.
Oh, right. They're prolific layers, and they're not clutch layers like they're what they were bred from. So the wild birds are laying in clutches, and I don't know what happened. We found the bird, caught it. So the chicken is 9,000 years old. That was domesticated approximately 9,000 years old from the Gallus gallus, or the wild Indonesian chicken. Looks like a rooster. They're still around. They look like regular chickens.
Mm-hmm.
They're smaller,
Mm-hmm.
about 3 pounds. They're really cool. Their behavior's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they love the chicken.
And the roosters still crow.
Well, you ever
In the
see a
wild.
chihuahua? Doesn't look like a wolf.
No, it's just interesting that the wild ones, they I mean, I don't know about 9,000 years ago, but the chickens will quickly adapt to being in the wild, the ones that don't get eaten. But anyway, you had footage, I remember we were looking at some video of some of those wild chickens. They still crow and do their noises.
Maybe I should do a special Dinosaur Omelette trip to Indonesia and seek out some wild jungle fowl.
You could do some dinosaur hunting.
Yeah, I guess I need a large channel for that, but that's okay. I'm still excited about him going to Moab.
Mm-hmm.
What useful. Okay, cool. So, quail. Anything other mention about quail and or chickens? What was I going to say about the chickens? Let me see what I got here. It's raining. Happy birthday. I have button quail, Bob White, and Coturnix. Oh wow.
Wow.
Or button quail. Whose idea was that? So I wanted the button quail. You don't like them. Well, you don't want to get them.
I'm very practical, so that's
I
why
like
we have
pets.
to yeah, we have practical animals, and the jumbos are perfect for the meat and eggs, and they lay the largest variety of eggs, so that's why we have them.
And he has the Bob Whites. I always loved the Bob Whites when I was a kid. You know, the little bird call.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. It's
Yeah,
kind of
that's
like
cute.
ornamental. Utah, yeah. We're going out to the mall, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, I've always wanted to go out there. Yeah, it's in Utah. Very awesome.
Mm.
Cool. What else do we have to discuss here? Is there any pre-winter stuff that needs to be getting ready? I mean, like, the lighting needs to be in place. Feed. So this is kind of not real fun to talk about, but like feed allocation, because feed costs are going to go up slightly, especially if you have a lot of animals, because their calorie increase.
They're gonna eat a little more. They're gonna eat more. Yeah.
How much do you think your critters eat more in winter?
I'm not sure. Like with the chickens, if I were feeding them, 3 pounds of food, I would feed an extra pound. I usually feed our animals based on daily monitoring of food intake, and I adjust as needed per their behavior and what's going on in the weather. So.
Berna asked me if I do a fall garden. I'm trying to do one now. I didn't do a garden this year, which was very sad. But yeah, I'm doing a fall garden. Because I'm going to do a small patch just for leafy greens, for kale and spinach. And the kale grows great in the cold. The Russian blue kale, yeah, in the winter. Button are for profit only. They sell like hotcakes here. The others are for meat and eggs. Oh, I bet. Yeah, people love the button quail.
Yeah.
Because they're tiny, they're huge.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the, what was that, Tamagotchis? Is that what it was?
The electronic animals.
Yeah, the bird version of a Tamagotchi.
Uh-huh.
Except that one actually
That's
cooks
funny.
if you don't take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what was that, a 90s toy? Tamagotchi?
I guess so. Early 90s.
Yeah. Very cool. We do a fall garden. So, this garden for next year, like I'm going to start planning my garden for next year in December to get it ready.
Yeah, which is good.
Because it's doing a garden
Time
here.
goes by
We don't have
quick.
a huge patch. I guess it's like what, 50 feet, maybe 40 feet by 20 or so.
Yes.
Is that about right? Maybe
Yeah, from the corner to
55.
the gate is 50.
Oh really? Okay, so yeah, it's like 50 feet by 20, or maybe a little more. Which is a lot of space. It's actually a lot of space. You know, if you guys are doing gardens, like I've done a garden every year except for this year. But the garden is so prolific with growth, especially the stuff you can cut back and it keeps growing. The tomatoes, the basils, they're very prolific in the growing. I do not like growing the big stuff because it just takes up a huge footprint.
Yeah.
Like I'll do 1 or 2 zucchinis or squash, but they're like huge.
Yeah.
And you gotta cut them back.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I had space for like what do you call them? Watermelons. It's my favorite food. But yeah, so we're gonna do just hopefully a small kale and spinach patch, which I can put in. And it grows all winter, which is cool. It does really well. It's weird. It grows fine. Snows on it, melts off, and it's still alive and good. Okie dokie. I'm not a good gardener, but I like to garden.
Yeah, you just have to be willing, a willing person, and
The garden looks really pretty.
take note of things you learn.
It looks nice, and then the weeds come. And then it keeps growing. Then you trim everything back. I trim the tomatoes back really hard. I take a lot of green out of the tomatoes. I trim a lot back off of the zucchinis. I trim everything back. I cut everything off. It doesn't look horrible, but the things do really well when I trim them back, especially these tomatoes. Everybody gives counter advice. Oh, you don't trim your tomatoes. Oh, you don't do this to the tomatoes.
Yeah, well, we live in a valley, so airflow naturally is important, especially with the plants. And but for us especially, we don't have a whole bunch of like open breezes often, so that's probably good for where we are.
Bernie said radishes are good and easy. I like radishes too. Do you ever eat a radish? A little spicy.
I've
It's like a
had like the
carrot and a
cheese stuff,
pepper
not
without
actual,
carrot
that's by
flavor.
itself.
Do you know who loves radishes? Fraggles from Fraggle Rock. Yeah, she hates Fraggle Rock.
I don't hate them.
So radishes are good. And yeah, I like them. So I do a lot of cooking, Vern. I just made a, what do you call that? Butternut squash soup.
Mm.
Oh my God, it's so good. Butternut squash soup. I use a curry, not that cinnamon and nutmeg. You like the one with, well, you like it to taste like a pumpkin pie. I like it to taste like I went to the Indian restaurant. So I boiled down this huge, what did I just say?
The butternut squash.
Butternut squash, yeah, it was so good. But it's good for you, you know? It's got a lot of vitamin A, beta carotene, put carrots in it. Good stuff. Try baking and or frying radishes. You know, maybe I'll do that. I planted them in a pot my borage was in. I did borage last year. But maybe, yeah. Maybe I can go pick some up. We have a cool little poor people farmer store down the road here. It's one of those discount grocers. Sometimes they get the coolest stuff in there. They'll get, and it's local produce. Like they came from farms, we didn't sell it. A big pile of beets, giant pile of peppers, a huge container of cabbages, and it's all cheap.
Yeah. And
Like the apples are
it's
50
pretty
cents
local.
a pound.
Most of the stuff is local.
I was going to do a video on that place because it's just, you can fill up a grocery cart for like $60 or $70
Yeah.
with meat.
Mm-hmm.
You can use butternut squash in place of pumpkins and make a pie. Oh yeah, you know, that might be good. Although I have a big pot of pumpkin from last year.
Mm-hmm. In the freezer?
Still in the freezer. And yeah, because I like doing everything from scratch, so I cook my pumpkin except for the crust. I bake a lot of bread, but I hate the crust making.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, cool. I
I
guess,
think this is gonna die.
yeah, my iPad's about to croak. So I think we will say thank you for coming in here.
Yeah.
Okay? If nobody asked questions, I was going to go over some bland Q&A reference about jumbo quail, stuff to mention. I'm glad you guys asked questions. It was nice meeting you electronically, my new electronic friends. Lo and Desiree, who's anime gamer. Oh, you create games.
Wow.
Very cool. I play games. Well, 1980s Nintendo stuff. I'm 50. I'm 50, so I grew up with the 8-bit stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff they make today
It's
is
entertaining.
incredible. Okay, and that's good. I do illustration. You should be creative. Creation is our gift as humans.
Yeah, it's very good for your brain, for you, as a human, like you just said.
All right, you guys. Anything else?
No? Yeah.
Berna, thanks for coming in here. And when you go to Renaissance Fair,
Mm-hmm.
have an excellent time. I'm going to try to see you on Saturday. I've missed your live.
Take some pictures. I'd like to see you there.
Yeah, what did we do last Saturday? I missed the live.
Saturday?
Yeah, because I like to watch. I tell Angela, Verna's live is the only show I watch. Like YouTube live.
We did something, but we
So I
do
missed
so much
Saturday.
every single day. I have a hard time. Remember.
All right. Oh, I will some video when there. Believe me. Oh, awesome.
Good.
All right, you guys.
Yeah.
Kelly, you came in at the last second. We're getting ready to roll. Hi, hon. How are you?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to text you back. I got all your messages. I've been extremely busy. I'm sorry. You gotta call me directly on the phone. I'm not very good with messages.
You do pretty good with the voice The voice. I don't know what it's called. Voice messages. But anyway, if you guys are new, anybody watching this later that's new, feel free to like and subscribe. We have these videos. Christopher likes to do educational stuff, so yeah, that's what we focus on doing Thursday evenings. But yeah.
Butchering quail all day. I bet you smell like quail blood.
Yeah,
That's
like
what it
iron.
is. Iron and blood. All right, guys. I will see you. I'm gonna try to put up that chick video, the video about the egg. I'm going to do a short video walkthrough of egg parts.
Yeah.
People always like, what's the white thing? What's that blood spot? Is this okay?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. All right, yeah.
toddler meltdown, so I missed all the good stuff.
Aw.
Well, that's good, Katie. Toddler meltdowns are okay. That means you got a happy baby who
they're
wants to be
your
hugged.
little humans, yeah.
All right, you guys. I gotta go behind this to hang up. So
Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thanks for watching.